Hello, my name is Isaiah Rivera. And have you ever got home and you've been waiting days, weeks, possibly months for a big African ceramic vase? And you go outside, you get this big box, and the first thing you do is open it up, right? You look inside, and comes to find out your vase is cracked. What's the next thing you do? You're gonna call the manufacturers of the vase or the senders that sent you the vase, and you're gonna say, I want my money back, or I want a replacement. Well, companies, they lose more money by losing customers than they actually do by having to refund an item, like send an item back and take back an item. So what are they going to do with the item that's cracked? Most likely throw it away. So if you don't want to lose companies, if you package your items correctly and safely, then you won't have to deal with the loss of customers or the disappointment of customers or the actually like safety of your items, because some of these items can cost up to like 500 to thousands of dollars. This is right here is a science beaker flasks, and to properly package this fragile item, what we don't want to do is use Jeffrey Eichimer's key term or key way to preserve your item and not get it damaged by actually using his fluff method. The fluff method is practically like cushioning the whole entire inner of the box so that your item does not bounce around. If it were to bounce around, then it could possibly get banged up against another box or slide down and fall or possibly just get thrown inside the back of the truck like usually. So first thing I do is I actually got this method from packagebox.com, is that you get this bubble wrap and you put it around your glass item. This is like when moving, if you were to move, you may want to put this around your glass items just so they don't get scratched, dinged, or possibly cracked. You're going to put this around there. You could make sure that it's more securely with some more tape, but right now we're just going to put bubble wrap. And then first thing, you got to use this fluff method, right? So you put the papers on the bottom. He uses actually packing peanuts, but paper is more easier to find, cheaper, and just a better way, I personally think. They're bigger than packing peanuts, obviously. So the first thing you do is put a first layer down at the bottom of the box. If you're sending a large vase, you may have to use multiple layers, like 5 to 6 layers, because they tend to get heavy. Glass items, ceramic, and also pottery. So what you do is put the flask inside there on top of the paper, and you gotta think about what may hit next. Of course, the walls around it, so like on top and the siding walls. And you can get some more paper and go ahead and stuff it around it. And you can practice, or you never know how much if you put enough paper in it or packaging around it. So next you can go ahead and just shut the box temporarily and hold it down with your thumbs. Go ahead and give it a shake just to make sure that it doesn't move around. If it moves around, then it might move around while it's driving in the back of the truck and crack or get dinked up against another box. So what you want to go ahead and do is put some more pieces of paper in it. May need to crumble up a few more. Put some more paper in it. Make sure that it's practically suffocated. Now if I shake it, it doesn't move whatsoever. If you would, just pass this around and make sure that it doesn't shake. That's just to show that the item inside, the fragile item inside, is not getting moved around whatsoever. They refer to this as suffocating the item. Okay. There's more examples than just packing peanuts or packing paper as we use just now. This one was actually a monitor for a computer. See, they use actual styrofoam, which this is a pretty good idea too. This is practically what packing peanuts is. It's styrofoam, but they're real small, a lot of them. And usually when you open up a box with new CDs, new games, or new consoles, they usually have packing peanuts. But big companies, like big manufacturers, use styrofoam that actually fit your actual item. Okay, so if you use the right method and the right time to package your items correctly, then your customers will be satisfied, and they could recommend you to more people, and you could gain more customers, which is when you gain more customers, you gain more money. So they can leave you good quotes on the website that you set up for them to buy off of, and you can get a lot of they can give you a lot of recommendations. According to StellaService.com, the big manufacturers in the world, or the big, not manufacturers, but the big that send off the items, like carriers and where they carry their packages and send them off, are UPS, USPS, and FedEx. Now, whenever you think about them, you gotta think about how their packagings and their information works with their boxes. So usually they put them in the back of a truck with many other boxes, right? And big companies, they put them in the boxes with many other same objects. But whenever you're doing simple stuff like eBay, like this famous eBayer, Jeffrey Eichmer, he's the one that came up with the idea of cushion packaging. And they use, he sends all kinds of fragile items, glass and pottery and stuff. So now you get home and you open this big box that you've been waiting for. Back to my main story, first story. If you were sent right and packaged right, especially fragile items, you open the box outside and you've been waiting weeks, months for this African vase. And you go open it and the vase looks beautiful and no cracks whatsoever. The first thing I'm going to do is go recommend them to other friends, family, and members that I feel that they need to know. So if, these papers, these cushioning, they may not save your life, but they could save your vase. Okay, do y'all have any questions?
What would you do if you had an extremely large item, fragile item that you were to send, and it would just be a waste of paper to completely fill the box, and it would be too expensive to get styrofoam or packing peanuts? What would you recommend then?
Well, newspapers are easy to find. Many people, when they move, they use newspapers to move. Newspapers, daily, we use them every day, parent, older folks. And you can use them practically the same way. It's real cheaper, you can go ahead and start saving you some newspapers. That's how, whenever I was younger, we used newspapers for frames, our vases, and other glass objects.
There's different thicknesses of paper. Do you think that because there's newspapers are really thin, tissue paper is really thin, but copy paper is really thick. So which one do you recommend, thinner or thicker?
I would honestly recommend copy paper, like printer paper. It's real thick. I wouldn't get so much thick paper because they could just get expensive. Newspaper, it'll do the job, but it's not as thick as printer paper. Printer paper is my best that I use. Any more questions? Thank you for your time, and I appreciate y'all experiencing this method with me.